Hi everyone. We wanted to welcome you to our College Week live event for Latin American students. My name is Estrella Gamino. I am from West Sacramento, California, which is not too far from UC Davis, and I just graduated from here last June. So I will be one of your presenters today.
And I am co-presenting with Estrella here. My name is Leah Youngs, and I am the Senior Associate Director for Freshman Emissions and Comprehensive Review here at UC Davis. I'm originally from the San Francisco Bay Area.
Alright. So we will be having we will be answering questions at the end, but if you would like, you can still type out your questions as we are presenting. So we're going to start. So this is an overview of what we are going to be presenting. Obviously, we're going to be talking about UC Davis in general. What does it take to get into UC Davis? What do we look for? We're going to talk about our application process, important dates that you should remember, and then any more of contact information and some website and social media information. So about UC Davis. So we are recognized worldwide for education, research, innovation, and public service. We have over 25,000 undergraduates at UC Davis, and we have a faculty number of over 1,800. So our student to faculty ratio is 15 to 1. It really varies by class. Not every class is going to be 15 students to one professor. We do have classes that can go up to 500 students per one professor, but that's just an average. We are ranked 9th among U.S. public universities, and we are in the top 50 world research. We are in the top 50 world research universities. We are also number 1 in the world for forestry and agricultural sciences. So if that's something that you're interested in, we definitely would be a good school for you. So as far as location, this is a map just to give you kind of general area of where UC Davis is. So we are in Northern California. We're really, really close to Sacramento, which is the capital. So it's about 15 to 20 minutes away, depending on which part of Sacramento you're going to. We are 45 minutes away from the Napa Valley. So that's known for like its winemaking and all that good stuff. We are 73 miles away from the San Francisco Bay Area, which is really popular. A popular place for people to visit, and it's a really good tourist attraction. We aren't too far from Lake Tahoe as well, so if you're interested in snowboarding, skiing, or anything that has to do with the snow, Lake Tahoe would be really close by as well. We are also not too far from Yosemite and Los Angeles. We are somewhat of a distance from Los Angeles, but we do have a lot of students that come from there to our school. As far as our academic programs, we have 4 undergraduate colleges. You can think of it sort of as a small learning community, if you will, for a high school. So we have our Agricultural and Environmental Sciences College, our Biological Sciences College, we have the College of Engineering and the College of Letters and Science. We have 99 majors and over 100 minors. So we have pretty much a variety of different areas of studying. We should have whatever you are looking for. As far as graduate programs, if you are looking to go into a professional school or looking to go get your education beyond your bachelor's degree, we have over 94 graduate programs and 6 professional schools, which include the School of Education, we have a law school, and a veterinary school. You might be wondering what other types of opportunities UC Davis has to offer, and we offer a lot of opportunities for undergraduate research. For my own personal experience, I was a McNair Scholar, so that gave me a ton of opportunities to present my research and to also get help with GRE prep and all that good stuff if I decided to go to graduate school later on. We have one of the largest internships and career centers at UC Davis. So there's internships for all kinds of things, and it could be local, as in Davis or Sacramento, or it could be in the Bay Area. A lot of students take advantage of studying abroad. So if you're interested in maybe going to another country for a summer, a quarter, or even an entire year, we do offer that to our students, and we also offer financial aid for that as well. And also a lot of leadership programs. So if you were involved in any type of clubs or organizations at your high school, we might have something similar at UC Davis. You can also get involved with ASUCD, which is kind of like the student government at your high school, but at the college level. So some of the places you can take advantage of our campus just to get a different experience outside of the classroom. We do have a Genome Center, a student farm that's actually really popular with people around here. The Mondavi Center, where we host a lot of cultural events and any performances, concerts of that sort. So that is what is actually on this slide right here, is what you can see is the inside of the Mondavi Center. We also have the UC Davis Health System, which a lot of students intern if they're interested in maybe pre-med or anything of that sort. The Bodega Marine Laboratory, the Tahoe Environmental Research Center, Nanotechnology Center, Botanical Conservatory. We have the Washington, D.C. Center. That is actually a really popular program, and a lot of our students are able to go to Washington, D.C. for a quarter and intern in whatever area they are interested in and get units for being there. And we also have the Wildlife Health Center. So if you're wondering, what are the outcomes of being a UC Davis student? Well, most freshmen graduate in 4 years, transfer in 2. Transfers actually graduate in 2 years. Top employers do recruit UC Davis student graduates. We are among the top 25 state universities based on alumni earnings potential. And we actually have a large alumni network, which is over 200,000 strong, and that's all over California and even throughout the U.S. We are known for definitely servicing the community, as I mentioned before, a leadership opportunity. So we have over 500 registered student clubs. We have a Greek system, which is our sorority and fraternity system. We have outdoor adventures, so if you and your friends want to maybe head out to Tahoe and go skiing and snowboarding for the weekend, you can do that at a lower cost than if you wanted a student. We are NCAA Division I in our athletics program, so if you're interested in sports, playing sports, or watching sports, we are in that division.
Just went away.
Our video
Went away.
Bear with us while we're checking to make sure we still have good video for all of you. We seem to only be having difficulty, I think, on our end. Yeah. So we'll continue.
Okay. All right. So as I was mentioning,
I think we are experiencing some technical difficulties. So I was talking about our rich students who might be UC Davis. So there's a lot of tools there. It's a very safe campus, great, easy access to transportation. You don't need cars to come to Davis. And that kind of leads us right into housing.
So freshmen are guaranteed 2 years of housing on campus. I did use the 2-year rule when I was a freshman in sophomore, so I did live in the dorm for 2 years. If you are interested in any cultural dorms or academic themed dorms, we also have that available. For our Chicano Latino student population, we have Mascot, which is really popular among the community on campus. So if that's something that you're interested, you can definitely look more into that when I'm in the section of our website. And that, as far as
so I'll be talking about freshman requirements. Now that you've gotten familiar with UC Davis and all the great things it has to offer, we can discuss how we admit our students. There's 2 ways to come to UC Davis. As a freshman and as a freshman students are a student based on and then we have transfer students who are coming in with some college credit. So we'll talk about so we're traditional freshmen. Our requirements are the same, whether you're going to school in California, United States, or anywhere in the world. What we're looking for is we're looking for a certain breadth of subjects, typical subjects, composition courses, language courses, lab sciences, history, visual performing arts courses, and some college preparatory courses. What we're looking for is superior marks in your academic subjects. It is a very competitive campus, so we're looking for high academic marks. We also are looking that you receive a certificate of completion that grants you admission to university level, the equivalent that would grant you entry into university level studies in your country. That's what we would consider a freshman. You also must meet English proficiency requirement if English isn't your language of instruction. There's several ways to satisfy English proficiency, the most common being the TOEFL exam. So, what are we looking for more specifically? Grade point averages. We'll give you some stats at the end of our presentation. Your examination scores. So, students take either the SAT exam or the ACT exams. So if you have access to those exams in the areas where you live, we do expect you to be submitting those scores to us as part of your application. We look for students who can take advanced level courses. Some students are coming in with college courses, and it really depends on the curriculum that's available to you in the context of where you currently go to school. Non-academic factors we look for in an applicant. We are looking for leadership. We are interested in learning more about any special talents, skills you may have, honors and awards you may receive, perseverance, and successful management of a significant challenge, I would say. Those are things that we learn more about in your personal statement, which we'll cover in just a moment as well. So on to our freshman admission profile. This kind of gives you an example of what it takes to be admitted to UC Davis. Our admit rate among our freshman applicants who want to enter here for their freshman year is 39.4%. We received over 55,000 applications for admission last year. And for the students that we admitted, their average GPA was 3.96 to 4.24 for the middle 50% of the group that we admitted. We also share with you here some average ACT scores and SAT scores. So I think you just got access to that slide now, so we'll leave that up for just a moment. You can also find, by the way, this data on our admission website. All right, so I'm going to move on now to the application for admission. Just a plug for students, before I go on to the admission application, just a plug for students who maybe you're already attending university or you're thinking about coming to one of our California community colleges. We do also have great transfer admission programs, and you can find information about those programs on our website as well. Typically, we ask students to complete the equivalent of 2 years of lower division college work before applying as a transfer student to UC Davis. So if you're interested in that route, be sure to research our site for that information. What I'm going to go over now is the application for admissions and scholarship, and that's another important point I want to make. Our admission application isn't just the application for entrance, it's also the application if you want to apply for any scholarships that might be set up for students coming from specific backgrounds, areas of interest, levels of achievement. We have a Regent Scholarship for our high achieving students, and lots of other UC scholarships, so please research that as part of your application when you're getting ready to apply. It is one UC application for admission, so the University of California system, which has 10 undergraduate campuses, shares one common application. It's available online, and we actually open it in the month of October to give students time to work on their application, because we don't actually allow submission of the application until November. So you basically have the month of October and November to work on and submit your application. We recommend obviously not waiting until the end. The November 30th deadline is a very popular day to turn in application, so we would recommend you avoid waiting until the last minute. Because again, you're going to want to research those scholarships, and you're also going to want to work very carefully on your personal statement. So it's a common application, but we do have individual fee for each campus. It's an $80 fee for every UC campus you would like your application submitted to, University of California campus. And we don't accept or request letters of recommendations or transcripts during the application phase. And that's something that students are often surprised to hear about. We base our admission decision on the self-reported information in the application, and then once you are admitted to a University of California and you select the University of California that you'll be attending, that's when you'll be submitting your transcripts as a follow-up. So now I want to talk about the personal statement. It is a very important part of your application. So in addition to all the academic information we're going to ask about you, the courses you've taken the last 4 years, what grades, what marks you've received, what your exam scores were. We're going to want to get to know things about you, that those non-academic factors that make you a competitive student. And we get a lot of that information from the personal statement. This UC Common application has 2 questions, 2 essay prompts that it's going to give you to write a statement. And you're given a 1,000 word maximum to answer the 2 essays, and you can divide that however you wish among the 2 essay answers. So you'll have a short answer and a longer answer. Then there's a third prompt where you can just provide, it's essentially a space for you to provide any additional comments or information you would like us to know about you as an applicant that didn't fit into one of your statement essays. Okay, so helpful hints for our applicants. The required exams I mentioned earlier, the SATs and the ACTs, the deadline to complete those exams is no later than December of the year prior to which you'll be applying. So December of what we would consider your senior year in high school. So you want to make sure you're registered for those and get those completed. You apply in November. If you do not have your exam results because you're taking them in November or you're taking them in December, it's very important that you provide for us your planned exam date so we understand that you will be taking those exams. In addition to your personal statement, there is an entire section for you to list any activities and awards that you've received. This is where we get the information about you, of what maybe clubs you've belonged to, or some of the honors and awards that you received while you were a student at your current school. for the common application, when you check off that you'll be applying to the University of California, Davis, we do allow you to enter your primary choice major and an alternate major. So consider picking an alternate major in perhaps a different area than what your primary major is in, and that way you will have access to the most consideration. Your senior year grades are critical. So even though they're not a part of your admission application, because you won't have the grades at the time you apply, you're just going to be telling us what your planned work is. It is important that you finish your last year successfully, because that will be part of our conditions if we offer you admission. So more helpful hints. Again, don't wait until the last minute. Make sure the information you provide regarding your academics is accurate, because we are not comparing this to your transcript until much later. And sometimes that creates some difficulties if there's information on the transcript that doesn't line up with what we see in the application. If anything changes on your UC application after you submit it, you want to make sure that you contact each of the University of California campuses to which you applied to update us of those changes. As we're making our selection decisions, we are receiving updated information from students if grades have changed, if course plans have changed, and so on. It's important that you set up an email that you'll be checking frequently and that you know will not be blocking or filtering out perhaps bulk emails that we might be sending from our campus. So our primary form of communication from you is definitely going to be via email. We're also going to give you access to most UC campuses. Once you apply, we'll give you access to a login into a web page where you can receive communications that way as well. Don't hesitate to ask questions along the way if you're confused about any part of the process or need any clarification. We give you information at the end of this presentation on how best to contact us. We're also going to have time at the end of the presentation to answer your questions and questions you may have while we're live on our video chat. And next I want to share with you some important dates. I mentioned some of these before. So, again, our application website is open October 1. The time that you can submit your application is November 1st to November 30th. January is when you're going to set up and monitor your My Admission page. When you apply to UC Davis, we're going to give you information on how to set up that account. January through March, we are making our selection decisions. And mid-March is when we do freshman notification. So typically you will find out whether you're admitted between mid-March to late March. May 1 is the deadline we're going to give you to accept your admission offer. Obviously, you don't accept offers from on UC campus. And there is a deposit associated with accepting an offer. And that's all done online. So here's some additional resources we promised to share with you. Our admission webpage, and specifically directing you to the site for international student information. We have a link to visit.ucdavis.edu, and that's where you set up a campus tour if you're actually coming out to California, which we think is a great idea. Really, touring our campus is the best way to experience what we would like to do in UC, and we're very proud of our campus. You can join our mailing list if you visit our admission site. There is a way to set up a contact link in your own. questions? What's the next session after our session? Someone else taking it?
We will be having an all access day, which is next Thursday from 1 to 6, and the video chat portion will be from 5 to 6 p.m.
And so what will be offered next week?
So that is all access for anyone that just maybe doesn't know if they want to apply to Davis yet. Maybe people that are really, really interested in Davis, but that's an all access. No specific targeted audience, just for everyone.
So I think we're gonna wrap up. We're not doing anything. Oh, we got a question. Cost of tuition. Okay, so the tuition information is on our website. I think I do have a booklet here. Let me check this out for you. Unless you know what I'm talking about.
But UC Davis does offer different types of financial aid, whether it is in grants and scholarships or loans. So there's a variety of financial options.
Tuition and fees for the year for international students or non-residents, California non-residents, is $36,780. That doesn't include room and board and personal expenses, travel.
And it's an estimated cost, so you can definitely save money different ways. I know that's what I did as a student here. I cut down costs on things that I felt I didn't need so much. For example, clothes or fancy things like that. You know, it's all really, I made sure to keep myself on a tight budget. Books, of course, are important. Anything related to school, stuff like that. It's pretty doable to keep yourself on a budget. And if your family, we do have the Blue and Gold Opportunity Program as well.
So again, research those scholarships as far as the admission application would be one tip. And then I would also add that UC Davis is known for having the best return on a student's investment. So again, those companies that are seeking UC Davis graduates as employees, our alumni scholarship, our strong reputation worldwide, students are finding that it's a great deal as far as investment on their dollars and what you get in return.
So we do have another question, and it's, can you elaborate on student life, maybe activities to get into? So as Leah mentioned, we are a college town. Davis is, so everything is centered around the students. We have, you know, all these privileges around town that maybe you couldn't have anywhere else, where it's just like very student-centered. Student life, whether you want to get into, as I mentioned, research or clubs organization or social activities, Davis, I would say the student life is definitely, how do I say it, worthwhile, and it's definitely there. Like, we are a small town, but, you know, we're not far if you want to travel to different cities, or if you just like to maybe be in a peaceful environment. We have places on campus where it's all nature around you, such as the Arboretum. We are a campus, so we have lots of green around our campus, so we have grass and trees. It's not very urban, an urban type of setting, but student life is very important.
Yes, and so our student government, which we mentioned before, is very active and also has one of the largest student government budgets that we so that's up there. But whether it's politics or religion, club sports are very popular on campus. We have great weather in Northern California, so there's a lot of outdoor activities and club sports involved.
We also have one of the largest student-run events on campus, which is called Picnic Day, and that happens every spring. We have tons of people that come into Davis for that event, whether they're current students, prospective students, or even alums like to come out and participate. So it's pretty much just a showcase of everything that Davis has to offer. So that's something that students look forward to every year.
You can, so Myra, if you want to just ask me the questions to us, we can answer them that way.
Okay. I had a kid on the. Okay, I have a question. When do courses usually begin and how many months before classes start?
So when do courses begin and how many months before school starts? UC Davis is on the quarter system, so we actually haven't begun our fall season yet. Our classes are going to start at the end of this month. I believe the 27th is the first day of instruction, and so typically what happens is we have fall quarters starting at the end of December and ending before we go on holiday break. Then we have our holiday break in December, towards the latter half of December, really. Then we'll come back in January for our winter quarter session, 10 weeks long, nice person, it's 10 weeks long. Then we have a small break between winter and spring, and then 10 weeks for spring. So because we start so late in the year, we end later than some students are used to. We go into June where we end the spring quarter. What we also have available to students, though, is summer sessions. You can do summer sessions at Davis. You can do summer sessions at another UC campus. Some of our students choose to do a term in UC and Washington, D.C. And what's nice is all those credits apply towards your university health and safety.
And what I liked about the quarter system is the 10 weeks goes by really fast. So for example, let's just say you're in a class that maybe you really just don't enjoy, or you can just think of it as like, I'm not going to be here a whole maybe 16 weeks, like in the semester system versus just 10 weeks. And also we do get a really long summer break. So let's say you didn't think you wanted to take summer session maybe that first half of summer, but then you changed your mind, or you can always do the second half of summer. And I really enjoyed starting school really late in September. We're usually the last people to start school. We do get out a little bit later, but it seems like our break is longer. So I really enjoyed the quarter system.
Any other questions for us, Myra?
I'd like to.
Okay, how big is it?
So how big is our campus? As far as student enrollment, we have about 25,000 undergraduate students. When you add the students who attend grad school here, we have schools where you can do your advanced degrees. Then when we add those students in, we're a little over 30,000 students. And I don't think we covered our graduate schools. I'm not sure if we did, but we'll go over those again briefly. So our graduate programs include, we have a School of Medicine, we have a School of Nursing, we have the Law School, the School of Education, and the Graduate School of Business Management. So because of that, we have a lot of students doing their masters, PhDs, MDs, and so on campus as well, which again makes it a very nice, happy environment. So it's a large campus of 35,000 students, and the city of Davis has a population of about 60,000. So that's what we mean when we say it's a college town, is that most of the population of the city of Davis are either students or professors and employees associated with the university, which is why it makes it such a strong, friendly, safe student environment. And then our most popular major, what do you think?
So biological sciences is definitely one of our most popular majors. We have a really good medical school, so people that are interested in going for pre-med, they most of the time major in biological sciences. Another popular major is psychology. That is one of our most selected majors that students put into their application. So those I would say are the most popular. We also are very well known for our engineering programs. So those are, I would say those are the three main. But there's, like I said, there's 99, over 99 majors and over 100 minors. So those are maybe the top three, but we have a variety.
Often we're asked if we have a business major. Our major, for students who want to study business, the most traditional path to do that is our major called managerial economics. So if you're surprised you're not seeing a major listed called business, it's because we here call it managerial economics, where you're going to study kind of the finance based, economic based side of business. The next question was whether or not you could bring a car to campus. And so that answer is twofold. If you're choosing to live on campus, we typically do not provide you with a parking permit and ask that you do not have a car if you live on campus. The majority, over 90% of our students, are living on campus without a car their first 1 to 2 years at UC Davis. And then there's a large percent of students that continue to live in Davis without a car. For those of you that cannot bear the thought of not being without your vehicle, what you would want to do then is live off campus in the city of Davis, and then you would be allowed to have a car and buy a parking permit to commute onto campus. Again, most students find after their first year of doing without one that they're rarely worried about having a car for the future. There's a great bus system. Unitrans is run by the students. It's included in your student fees. We're one of the largest bikes per capita cities in the world, at least in our country. So a lot of bikes in Davis, and again, that's attributed to the great weather we have here, and we're very flat. It's easy to get around on your bike.
We did have a question. Are there any resources to help international students? So I actually redirected you to the slide that says known for our community, and we do have an international house, which is very popular for international students to actually meet other international students from the same or a different country. We have the Student Community Center, which houses all of our special cultural and different community-targeted communities. That's such as the LGTBC Center. We have Yikalkuyum, which is for the Latino students. We also have Bridge, which is for the Filipino students. So stuff like that is all housed at our Student Community Center. And then we also have the International House, which is any events that happen that have to do with the international students that happen. It's really close off campus, but that's a place that's really popular. So there are plenty of resources, and you don't have to necessarily just stick to those three resources or those places on campus. You can use any resource on campus, just as all the other students that aren't international.
And of course, we have a center with services for international students. That's the office that's going to help you with your student visa paperwork. And so they're very familiar with dealing with our incoming international students and helping them navigate through all the additional paperwork and process that has to do with that. How safe is our campus? So being in that small college town, we are known as a very safe campus. We are adjacent to our downtown, so most students can walk from here to our downtown area. It's a 10-minute walk. Downtown is where you're going to find all the shops, stores, restaurants, places to go out in the evening. And again, because it's walking, because it's biking, and because it's right close to campus, it's very safe. It's mostly a student environment. And yeah, I don't know if there's much to add to that.
Well, in case, even if, like, for example, you're on campus at nighttime and you just want to get maybe a ride to your car or a ride to the bus stop, TAPS does provide transportation from one side of campus to the other side of campus, even to our off-campus dorms. So, if you're studying late at night, but you really just don't want to walk to your dorm, or you're kind of, nervous about going to another side of campus, you can definitely call them, and then it's about a 5 to 10 minute wait, and they'll come pick you up and take you to wherever you need to go. So it's pretty safe in that respect as well.
what kind of internships are offered at UC Davis? So we do have one of the largest internship and career centers, and it offers a variety of internships based on what your interest is. We have different departments within the career center that's going to specialize in getting internships in social areas, internships in politics, because we are 20 minutes from the state capitol. If you want an internship in business or Silicon Valley, which is only about an hour away from here, they're able to find you internships in those areas. So whatever the interest is, there's going to be an internship that fits that interest. We consider an important part of your education and your experience at UC Davis. Some majors actually require that you complete an internship, and all majors, I would say, would encourage it strongly as part of your experience here.
The next question we have is, what is the food like? So that's a good question. If you live in the dorms, you're going to have access to these really, really cool, we call them dining commons, and it's actually an all-you-can-eat style of type of cafeteria. So they have different types of food every single day. Sometimes they have theme nights. I remember, and when I lived in the dorms, we had like a Harry Potter theme night, and it was like weird food, but it was really good. So we have stuff like that for the dorms. On campus, we have two main areas where people like to go for food and to also hang out and study. And that is our coffee house, which we call it the Coho, and then we also have the Silo, which has, for example, Taco Bell, College Junior, Pizza Hut, Starbucks, all that good stuff.
Lots of fast food. And I can talk more about downtown. So downtown restaurants, there's plenty, and again, they're very student-centered. There's pretty much any kind of, being California, we have a very diverse and global kind of culture, and being a university town, that adds to it as well. So you'll find everything from Thai food and Vietnamese food to Mexican food. We have a German restaurant. We have just about everything. The most popular, I would say, would either be pizza or Thai food.
Yeah.
We seem to have a lot of restaurant crepes.
And
we
sushi.
Lots of Japanese food as well. So if there's something you're craving, you're probably going to find it within town, I would say.
Do we have any honors programs? Yes, we do. The one I can think of as of right now is our Davis Honor Society, which students can begin to be a part of even as early as their freshman year. We also have honors programs for those that are graduating and want to work on maybe a senior project, and that would be an honors program for whatever department your major is a part of.
Davis Honors Challenge is our honors program that's open to anyone to apply, and they're invited to participate in some form of an honors experience, whether here at UC Davis. That means working closely with professors, small projects, research projects, for example, getting honors notation on your transcript. And then we also have an integrated studies program, and that's by invitation for our high achieving students. When you're admitted, if you're one of our high achieving students, if you're one of our region scholars, you're going to get an invitation to participate in our integrated studies program, which is a much more hands-on kind of coordinated process. Those students are often housed together and work on their projects together throughout the 4 years that they're here, including service projects, honors, research, so on.
Our next question is, how expensive is the food?
Cost of living for Davis is typical for a California town. I wouldn't know exactly how else to answer that compared to what you're used to in your context. Again, though, the restaurants being more student-focused are not what we would call like the fancier sit-down restaurants are more expensive. There's lots of cheap options because of the competition. I don't know how I'd answer that question. Lots of grocery stores. A lot of our food that we have in Davis comes within a 20 to 30 mile radius living in Northern California. So it's local, it's sustainable, and that's something we're really proud of.
Is it mandatory to live in the dorm? No, it is definitely not mandatory, but I would say I would recommend it for the experience. You know, you're getting to live with other freshmen just like yourself. You're getting that away from home experience. You're on your own. you have your responsibility to take of, like maybe laundry and maybe making some food for yourself that you probably wouldn't have had before. And you really get to meet some of your closest friends that you'll ever have, throughout your stay at Davis through the dorm. So I definitely recommend them, but they're not mandatory.
What is the weather like? So Northern California weather, a little different than Southern California. We have traditional 4 seasons. So autumn or fall is very fall-like. The temperatures get more mild, maybe 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Then winter, we do get some rain. We are low elevation, however, so we do not get snow in the winter. We are 40 minutes from the Sierra Nevada mountains, though, so it's a 40-minute drive to the snow if you're interested in participating in that. We have a lovely spring, and the one time a year that some folks find a little testing in Davis is summer can be very hot here. Good news is you're not required to go to school here in the summer. If you want to take off and go somewhere cool, you can do that. If you choose to stay in Davis, you can expect weather that's upwards of over 100 degrees Fahrenheit for several days in July. So it gets pretty hot. But that's the nice thing about Northern California. We have the rivers, we have the Bay Area, and we have right now hot summer.
Someone wants to know if we have international scholarships.
So when you apply for admission, there's going to be some scholarships that you'll be able to research based on the University of California Davis scholarship list. There's special instructions to complete for certain scholarships like the alumni scholarship. And then some of the scholarships we kind of automatically screen for. So one of them that comes to mind is we do have some scholarships for non-residents. We automatically choose the applicant for that scholarship. And so our very high achieving applicants who are not California residents are offered some additional scholarship money in that way. And you would learn about that award at the time of your admission.
What kind of sports do we have available at UC Davis? So we have definitely a variety of sports, whether you want to participate in men's or women's competitive sports. If you, let's say, maybe like to play soccer or volleyball, but you don't want to commit to the competitive side of the sports, we do offer Intramural Sports, which is kind of like a club. So you're not committed to doing any games or going to practice. It's just whenever you can and whenever you want to. So a lot of people participate in Intramural Sports.
And if you can think of a sport, we probably have it. What do we have, over 100 Intramural Sports?
Yeah,
Soccer.
And you can make your own teams as well.
Ultimate Frisbee. Yeah. What else? Lacrosse.
Mm-hmm. We even have, what's the name of the Harry Potter sport as well?
Oh, I don't know.
Quidditch. We have yes, I heard we have that on campus. So random stuff like that we do have. And if not, you can start your own. Yeah, also
Okay, so we talked about tuition already. We got a question about tuition. I'm going to refer you to our UC Davis website for those details. We covered it at the beginning. But I do want to answer a very good question, which is, what majors do you offer at your university? And we offer over 100 majors, so we don't want to list them all for you, but we'll give you an idea how they're divided. What we have is we have a College of Biological Sciences that has several majors that are going to study biological and life sciences. Then we have a College of Engineering, where you're going to find many different disciplines of engineering within that college. We actually have one of the largest College of Engineering colleges in California, because we offer the most disciplines. So we have Biological Sciences, College of Engineering. College of Agriculture and Environmental Science is where you can study the animal sciences. It's where you can study agricultural sciences, environmental sciences, and some human sciences as well, such as community and regional development. Then we have a College of Letters and Science that has 3 different divisions. You have humanities and social science, you have physical science, and then you have the arts and performing arts. So College of Letters and Sciences is where you're going to find your basic majors like economics and history and math, but that's also where our art majors are, our humanities majors, our social science majors. And many of our majors are unique to UC Davis. We are over 100 years old, so we have evolved. A lot of these majors have been around since the beginning and involved as specific needs for the state and the country. Are we out of questions? Myra, are there any more?
We have
Yes.
Oh, we do have
What
more
is the
questions.
school like?
What is the school like?
Well, we are the largest UC campus in all of California. And that's due to all of our agricultural land that we have available. We do have a student farm, as I mentioned. We have um, the vineyards behind the Robert Mugabe Center. We also have animals on campus. We have a farm. We have the cows, which are inconvenient. You can see located by the dorms, or one area of the dorms. You can always the cows out there. We do have the primate center that some student interns have access to. We have ducks on campus, so it's walking around. We always have squirrels like looking for food. And as far as the weather, during the sunny days outside, everyone is out there on the quad, studying and down and sleeping, stuff like that. But if you're not in class, there's plenty of things to do on campus. We even have an arcade and a bowling center on campus, so for in between breaks, if that's something you want to do, you can just but we do have a variety of things for our student life on and
Our next question has to do with housing and exactly what our building looks like and what we have to share. I believe if you go to our housing website, you can do a virtual tour of the dorm room, and that's probably a lot more informative than having right here. Other than what we can say is our housing areas are very new. They've all been rebuilt in the last few years. So the dining commons are brand new, and many of the housing areas are also brand new.
and do you have to share? So you do have the option of rooming by yourself and not having other roommates, but I mean, that's how you make friends is usually by sharing your dorm, and it's usually just one other person that you have to share room with. If you live in like a suite style dorm, which is like 3 different rooms, you'll have 5 other roommates, but you'll only have to share your room with just one other person.
Oh, this is a really good question. We were asked, why is your mascot a Mustang? So UC Davis has, our official mascot is a horse, and we actually have a name. The horse's name is Gunrock. It is named after an actual horse that we've had on campus in the early 1900s when we were initially an agriculture and animal science school. Unofficially, our other nickname that we're known by is Aggie. So you'll hear UC Davis Aggies a lot because we're an agricultural school. So you'll hear both nicknames. You'll hear Aggies, and then you'll see that we have kind of mountains. We have a really, really good Aggie fan pack. So we have one of our biggest student clubs is actually our fan club that go out to all the sporting events. And we're very active, and there's a good school spirit around that.
And you can definitely see that on the first slide. These people are dedicated to showing UC Davis spirit at any event. Yeah.
No more questions?
That's all I got.
All right, well, it's great chatting with you guys. We hope you got some answers and some more information about UC Davis. And again, be sure to contact us through our website or our social media if you want to connect and learn more about what we have to offer. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.